We are not all gonna die in 12 years. There are only two genders. If you're triggered, you're on the wrong page. Lefties like to say that the Republicans are anti-science, but it's the other way around. Archaeologists have been digging up bones from human beings from hundreds of thousands of years ago. And they've only found male and females. What's up, Ted? Where are all these other genders I keep talking about? Triggered. Triggered? She triggered. So you don't like Trump because he don't support open borders? You're from Cuba?
My family's from Cuba. My dad came here in 1980 during the Mario boat.
Oh, okay. You wouldn't, would you ever vote for a socialist?
No, never in my life. This motherfucker. Well, during Castro, the Cubans became well educated. Oh, okay, so by that logic, then Hitler was a great public speaker and Mussolini kept crime down by murdering communists.
Exactly.
Yeah. Fantastic logic.
He's missing the most important part.
And
he was a tyrant.
Yeah, he's missing the whole point where it's like, oh yeah, we were educated, but we were fucking starving.
Right.
And then people like my dad who hopped on a fucking raft to come here in the fucking 80s, yeah, we ran away from all that free healthcare, free education to come here so we can have an opportunity to, you know, survive.
Because over there, you could never, no matter how hard you tried, you can't amount to shit over there.
No, there's fucking nothing. And then I love it. I love it when I run into white kids, little socialist white kids, that fucking tell me how great socialism is when they've never fucking lived there.
Yeah.
They don't know what it's like to not have medicine for your fucking mother who has diabetes and you can't get fucking insulin. But there's money for the communist government to import cars and for them to have all their little luxuries and shit, right? Right, they got all that. We don't have fucking toilet paper, we don't have fucking clothes, we don't have anything. There's no food. All we survive off is beans, fucking watermelons and shit.
All the good stuff's reserved for the people in charge.
It's reserved for all the fucking tourists and the people in the fucking government. They don't want to say shit about that. All they want to fucking talk about is, oh, look how great socialism is. Everything is free. But they don't want to talk about when you turn fucking 80 and you have like a tumor in your breast. Sorry, ma'am, you're too fucking old and you're not worth saving. Go the fuck home and die.
That's what they do there.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
And they don't want to talk about that shit. Fucking die.
Right.
They don't want to talk about it.
So you didn't grow up there at all?
No, no,
but
no.
you
I've
probably,
been many times.
You've been there many times?
Yeah.
Oh, so you see how the people live over there and all that stuff?
Like,
your parents have probably told you some pretty nightmare stories.
My parents both came from Cuba. So when my dad came here in 1980 during the Mario boat lift, and the way it was back then, you ever seen the movie Scarface? So a lot of the footage in the beginning of the movie where they were showing all the Cuban rafters and all that, that was a lot of real footage from the Mario boat. So I always loved the hypocrisy of the left, because in the 1980s during the Reagan administration, they welcomed us with open arms. They processed us in little camps down in Key West, just like anybody else. They didn't know who the fuck we were, where we were coming from, or what we were doing. But they wanted to find out who we were. My dad stayed in a detention camp, waited his fucking turn in line. Then they gave him basically a fucking wait time. And then they said, all right, once we release you, you're gonna be a resident of the United States.
But back then, he had a legitimate reason for claiming asylum.
Yes, he had a
because if they shipped him back, they probably would have killed him.
We were running away from a communist fucking system. Exactly. They don't.
Well, we're flying the commie flag on Bernie only.
Upside down.
Upside down. That's perfect.
In the 80s, the Republicans, the Reagan administration, welcomed us here with arms wide open. They just processed us and then they released us into the public. If we committed some sort of crime, they arrested us and sent us back, like how it should be. But what they don't want to fucking talk about is when Clinton came into power, all of a sudden we were a fucking problem, and he wanted to implement wet foot, dry foot, that unless we got a foot on dry land, we weren't allowed to come in, and they would send us back.
And if they caught you out in the ocean, they'd take you back.
They'd take us fucking back. And
so what happens when they took people back?
We got fucking shot.
You got killed.
Got fucking sent to prison. And they don't want to fucking talk about that shit. And I love the hypocrisy on the left, that they don't ever call out their own party. And then later on, Elian Gonzalez in the fucking 90s, little boy came here with his mom. His mom drowned halfway across on the way over here. He made it. Wet foot, dry foot applied to him. By all the standards of the law, he was allowed to stay here. Janet Reno and Bill Clinton authorized the deportation order for Elian Gonzalez from pressure under the communist government of Cuba. And they sent him back. Now when they interview him, every time Elian Gonzalez talks, it's nothing but a bunch of communist bullshit. That
they've indoctrinated him, and they use him as like a poster child.
All they
and
fucking
propaganda.
Exactly. And then what I love too.
Well, he better conform or he's going to die,
Exactly,
and he probably knows it.
Exactly. And then as like a little last jab in the face of the Cuban community from the Democrats, right before Obama left from office, and this is what I love, the hypocrisy of the left. They'll bring in people from across the border in Mexico so they can make them into fucking citizens so they'll vote for them.
Yeah.
But Cubans never really vote Democrat. They usually vote Republican.
That's why they don't care about you.
Exactly. So what did Obama
That's why they
do?
never talk about
Exactly.
you guys.
So what did Obama do? Oh, well, I'm just going to end wet foot, dry foot and subject Cubans to the same deportation.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
They don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, they
shit.
want open borders because they want open votes for themselves.
Well, yeah,
basically
you can't
what it
fucking
is.
win an election.
They're
so
so
what do you do?
crooked,
Just appoint
man.
a bunch of fucking immigrants and
Yeah.
tell them, oh yeah, we'll give you all this free shit.
Yeah.
Cubans,
Democrats are nasty people, lying to you all day long. They want to get rid of the Electoral College because it's going to benefit them. They want 16-year-olds to vote because that's going to benefit them. They want open borders because that's going to benefit them. They want to break all the rules because it benefits them.
Cubans never came to this fucking country asking for a fucking handout, demanding this, demanding that. No, we fucking came here to assimilate, to work, to be like the Americans. Why? Because Cuba fucking sucks.
Yeah.
And we don't want this country to be like fucking Cuba.
Right.
But these people don't fucking get it.
Once the Democrats destroy this country, there's nowhere else to go, man.
I mean, they're not.
Nah, we get people that come out and they want to take pictures of the art and do selfies and stuff. But we rarely get people that have family members that came from socialist countries and have stories like you got.
No, and it's funny too, because like there's so little of everything over there. Like things that people like don't even think about, like running water, on toilets, bathrooms, whole 9 yards. Going to the grocery store at like 2 a.m. because you just got off of work or some shit. Being able to go to a gas station on every corner. That doesn't exist
there.
No, it's like once a month, maybe one gas station in some random ass part of the army island will get some fuel in, and then it's like a 4 or 5 hour backup. People are pushing.
They ration it out, and you'd be lucky to get a gallon of gas, probably.
So
huh?
now what's going on is that since Trump put the more embargoes on Cuba, now the Cuban government is rationing food, but they're not talking about that. But what they're saying is, oh well, it's the Americans' fault. How the fuck is it the Americans' fault that you don't have enough resources for yourself to feed your own people?
Well, we put more embargoes on them because they're doing some shady shit.
Exactly.
They're over there in Venezuela helping that Maduro dude with the Russians and all that stuff.
This motherfucker don't want to talk about how there's literally pictures coming out of Venezuela of millions and millions of dollars thrown all over the roads, in the sewers, just laying there because it's worthless.
We got a movement going on that this asshole started, man. He's got young kids thinking socialism is good. Yeah, and they're having a revolution, and you know, all these young minds are being poisoned in our school systems, man. Well, they don't teach the kids in our school system.
No, they don't.
About socialism and
most kids can't write fucking cursive anymore, and it's ridiculous to me to not be able to read the Constitution of your own country and fucking cursive. It's ridiculous. Right. And then you got people, like you said, college kids here in the United States talking about how great socialism is and this and that he's going to pay all our college debt.
They're ignorant and they don't know any better. And they're not curious enough to look for themselves.
And I
once we forget our history, we repeat it.
Yeah, and I think it's hilarious that like these kids, it's like you're sucking off mommy and daddy's tit because they're all trust fund babies who get everything they want in fucking life, going down to Starbucks, getting their soy fucking lattes, want to talk to me about how great socialism is, but then they want to shut me up when I tell them, yeah, you can't wipe your ass with toilet paper in Cuba because there isn't any. You can't take a bath every day in Cuba because there isn't always running water.
Wow.
You can't always have electricity because they ration the electricity. And they don't like to talk about that shit because it's a little inconvenient truth.
Right.
And then they say, oh, well, it's never been attempted correctly. All right, fucking...
That's what they all say.
Yeah, right. So Zimbabwe, China, Vietnam, North Korea,
Russia.
all these socialist fucking countries, Russia, all of them. All these fucking attempts where millions of people have fucking died. We didn't do it right, but we're gonna do it right in the United States, right? Nobody's gonna die, nobody's gonna starve, right?
It's never worked anywhere, ever, not once.
It's never enough for them. It's never enough for them. And then, Dion, how do you do it? I'm doing fine, how are you?
100 million people have died from socialism in 100 years. It's never once worked. But that moron is lying to you. Not to mention, this guy is making millions of dollars just by running for president, pushing his socialist utopia on people. For every $100 million he rakes in his campaign, he gets to keep 15 million of it because he's his own advertising agent. Crooked. You got some triggered lady over here? She wants communism?
Look at her. She's so pissed off. Look at her.
She want to...
You can put your window up.
She want to stand in the bread line? Is that what she wants?
My dad swam across a fucking ocean to get away from all that free healthcare and free education. My fucking people in Cuba were fucking starving. And people like Bernie Sanders that keep spewing this bullshit, they deserve to be at the end of a fucking rope.
That lady is triggered! Ah!
Think about it.
Oh, it's the longest fucking light in the world. Don't go anywhere, don't go. Years ago.
Hey, you can't find a single Cuban that would vote for socialism. Because they lived through it. And it's hell. They're still living through it. Oh, you people that think socialism's so wonderful, jump on a damn boat and scoot your ass over to Cuba. Go take your vacation in Venezuela, where they're eating out of garbage cans and they're eating mice, zoo animals. Nobody has any pets anymore because they had to eat them to survive. Go over there and take it for a test drive before you try to implement it here, man.
If you want, I can send you my grandfather and his friends. They were political prisoners in Cuba after the revolution. Initially, they joined up with Castro because at the time it seemed like a good idea. Then it
Better than getting...
And I don't know all the prisons he was into. He got moved around a lot, but one in particular was like Awanya, and that was particularly known for being extremely brutal. They tortured the prisoners all the time. They made them like eat their own feces. They'd electrocute them.
So your grandfather was a prisoner in Cuba for how long?
21 years.
Wow.
21 years. So
tortured and everything.
Yeah, so electrocutions, beatings. He would tell me that sometimes they'd take his friends out into the shooting posts, and sometimes they'd execute you, sometimes they just wouldn't shoot at all just to scare you.
Scare you, make you think you're going to die?
Exactly. And then my grandfather, the only reason he was released in the, I want to say, mid to early 80s, the Vatican started putting pressure on the Cuban government to release political prisoners. That is the only reason he got out. He got out and filed an asylum claim. My dad went and picked him up at the airport, and that was it. He spent the rest of his life down here in this country.
So he just got on a plane and was able to get over here on a plane?
Yeah.
Wow.
Once he filed the asylum claim, it was much easier for Cubans than other countries. So for us, it's like when the Democrats are out here canceling wet foot, dry foot, it's like we're not running away from a bad, I mean, we are. We're running away from bad economic times, but we're also running away from government persecution. We're running away from people actively trying to silence us for everything.
Does that irritate you guys to see all these people from Mexico that just walk right over?
Well, it pisses me the fuck off.
And you guys want to come here and you're dying to come here.
Yeah, and then these guys are over here like, oh yeah, let me just jump a fence, and then we're gonna take advantage of all these systems when we're just trying to come over here to work to make ourselves Americans. It took my dad forever to become a U.S. citizen. I helped my dad learn English. We don't come here with like, oh yeah, we're gonna bring all this like Cuban nonsense over here to America. No, we came here, we assimilate, we adapted to the American way.
You guys came here because you were desperately trying to get the American dream, just like everybody else.
Want to talk about
Hey, look at this biker. He's yelling Bernie. Bikers for Bernie! Is he? He's a bikers for a Bernie guy.
My sister wants her motorcycle back.
My sister wants her motorcycle back. I thought he was going to pull in here for a second. Me and Barry got the same hat.
There you go.
Because it triggers them, man. They hate this hat.
You gotta get this on camera.
What?
He wanted me to show you my tattoos.
Oh, wow.
Is that George Washington?
Yeah, look at that.
Certainly is.
That's, we the people.
If that's not
Wow, dude.
I don't know what is.
You're a Cuban and you are way more of a patriot than these Democrats, man.
This is the greatest country in the world, and it blows my mind that there's kids that grew up here that just want to like take a crap all over it. Like you don't understand what's at risk. They really don't. They don't understand what they have to learn.
What do you got? Socialism is cancer. That's right.
Bernie Sanders is screwed over tonight.
Oh yeah. Hey, isn't it weird that almost everybody simultaneously dropped out of the race all at once? That's no coincidence. It's the Democrats up to their old ways again. Cheating. Hey, today's Super Tuesday. Like my shirt? The Don. Don, baby. Trump. Hey, they call it Super Tuesday. They should rename it Let's Cheat Bernie Sanders Out of the Nomination Tuesday, because that's what it is.
Hey, fuck you! Don't talk shit to him. Talk shit to a man. Trump 2020, baby!
That's right.
What you trying to say?
We got a Trump supporter in traffic here sticking up for Aaron. I guess this guy over here in this car was messing with Aaron. And this guy's sticking up for Aaron because he's waving the Trump flags. Hey, I don't care how much the DNC cheats for Joe Biden. You can still stick a fork in that dude, man. Hey, you know what? Even if he wins, he's still a lion, dog-faced pony soldier. What a joke, man. Democrats. This is the Democrats' best candidate. That dude has dementia. Worse than anyone I've ever seen. And that's your guy. Okay.
Asking how my dad comes across a 90-mile stretch of ocean to get to the United States to get away from all that free socialism, healthcare, and education.
Yeah. Triggered! How's it going, Deborah? How you doing? It's so windy out here. Man, I broke my Rocky. My art is tough. It takes a beating.
Why isn't the hammer and sickle treated the same way as the swastika?
Good point. Why isn't the hammer and sickle treated the same way as the swastika? The swastika stood for the United German Socialist Party. The word socialist is in their name. Nazi, right?
It's baloney. I think it's baloney. It is. But you know, you guys just be safe. Be over here and don't step into the road or put any of the flags or anything into the road.
Okay. No problem.
I mean, we had like one fall over into the road, but that was
Well, throw it on the sidewalk.
We do this in Lake Mary. They get about 100 phone calls in 3 hours.
Yeah.
They always say we're blocking traffic.
Yeah. They're just mad because you
Yeah,
guys are out here.
they're triggered.
You guys are out here, you know, giving your support to somebody. So.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
I'll be well.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Stay safe.
What do you say?
Yeah, that's the funny thing, man, is these Democrats, they think it's greedy for somebody to work hard, build something up, and have money. They think it's greedy if you make too much. They don't think it's greedy for the government to come in and steal it from you.
The government is the only industry that doesn't produce a good, and we have to pay for it, regardless of whether we want to or not.
The Democrat Party, in a nutshell, is a party of envy. That's it. Where's my stuff? Man, we got our fingers on the pulse of what people are thinking. We stand on these busy intersections, wave our Trump flags, and it's always overwhelmingly positive. Hey, how's Bloomberg doing? Buying his way into the presidency. Mr. Stop and Frisk. Mini Mike. Standing on a box. So I guess if Biden don't get it, you guys are gonna give it to Mini Mike. If you can't beat him, buy him.
Thank you.
You scored. Hold on.
You got a pin,
Well, I'll do that
you got
now,
a bumper
but then
sticker, and a hat.
I have to take it off when I...
Oh, you have to put it on.
Are you glad you pulled over now?
Huh?
Are you glad you pulled over now?
I saw in Facebook that you were going to be here today, so I had it in mind.
No, awesome.
I wanted Puerto Ricans for Trump.
There you go. Give me a thumbs up, please. There you
Awesome.
go.
We love Trump.
Fire Pelosi. Impeach Congress. Trump. The man who saved America. God bless Donald J. Trump. Think what this country would be going through if Hillary would have won. Trump saved this place. High schoolers for Trump.
High schoolers for Trump.
That's little Ben Shapiro right there.
Oh, thank you so much. I can't think of a nicer compliment.
We call him AA Ron.
Hey, Ron.
AA Ron. Hey, did you hear Joe Biden's speech? All men are created equal. That's all he could remember.
Yeah, he couldn't remember shit. He couldn't remember.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yes, you know. You know.
You know the rest.
Yes, you know. Super Thursday.
Hey, that dude has brain damage.
Congress on Super Friday.
Super Friday. Hey, vote for Joe Biden for Senate.
TGI Fridays.
Joe Biden's running for
Super
Senate.
Thursday.
He said.
Vote for Joe Biden.
He's so dumb he forgot he's running for president.
Super Thursday.
Idiot.
Every night.